Hello, I'm Jim DaCosta, aka Skywalker, on Onstellar, and this is basically for my grandchildren. I'm trying to record a number of, well, basically, I'm recording things that interest me in my life and things that I believe in. Not that I'm saying this is real, but the things that I believe in with about an 80% confidence level. So, what the heck am I doing? And this is again to my grandsons, Orin Jr. and Collin James. So, let's talk about what the heck am I doing here? I'm all over the board here with personal dreams and OBEs, trips to ECETI, and now obviously political commentaries. Let me explain. I am retired, and as such, I find myself following my stream of consciousness and not education, which is where I spent the last 23 years of my life. Actually, education, peer reviewed papers, and trying to wake up students up to think for themselves is the last thing on my mind right now. QAnon, the DNC, OOBEs, lucid dreams, consciousness, psychology, my interpretation of possible truth, the world situation, and other fun stuff like family and golf. From time to time, I get involved with each of these and many others. I might confess, and on a weekly basis now it is probably golf, but I have elected not to bore this board with my own return to the golf course and, of course, Tiger Woods. My boys, my grandsons, they have their own interests in sports. And right now, they're pretty heavily interested in baseball, and they are both excellent at it. The oldest one is just entering into high school, well, just entered into high school last year, and he's a left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. Uh, he was just growing out of his babyhood, actually. He was just starting to become a man in his freshman year. Uh, he must have grew about 6 inches this last year. And in either case, he was a varsity pitcher from the time in the eighth grade, when eighth grade summer, when he was on the varsity team for Memorial High School, San Joaquin Memorial High School. It's in Fresno. And you know what? He's dang good. He's really good. Everybody recognizes that, Orin, you're a special kid. And they'll soon recognize that about your brother, Collin, as we're looking forward to following your baseball career. So, but I didn't want to tell you about where my regression from playing sports to golf, something that an old man can do. I'm 71 right now, pushing 72 this December, and I want to still compete, and so it's an area that I can still operate on, operate within the parameters or the rules. So that's what I choose to do. I know Colin's a little interested in golf. He's played a little bit, but baseball is going to overtake that, and he's going to put golf on the back burner until he's done with his baseball career. So, what else do I want to talk about? Well, I did say that my political commentaries lately have taken up space on the board, and probably because I haven't had any OOBs, right? No out of body experiences, no lucid dreams, a few dreams, but they're just snippets and probably not worth even recording. I haven't recorded them even here at home. But decentralization is the biggest problem that I see right now. I mean, centralization puts me and everyone I know further and further away from personal responsibility. Why? Because if you look at highly centralized governments like the USA, you see a dramatic need to control the people that they rule. This is absolutely despotic, and without any concern for the individual liberties like free speech and free action to support or not support what is happening around them. From mandatory vaccines, to acknowledge one way to cure this or that disease, to what you can or cannot spend your money on. These actions are simply the antithesis of freedom. Right now, this fight is the biggest thing that's happening in our world of politics. Now, basically, are we going to be sheeple and the serfs that do the bidding of the elite? Or are we going to forge our own path, making up our own minds as to what is right or wrong? I'm not a true anarchist because I do believe that we need laws and people to enforce them. But the laws need to not trample on our rights, nor force us into compliance with doubtful vaccines and treatments which have large bodies of dissenting research, which flies in the face of the CDC. Things of this nature should be left to the individual to do their own research and elect what treatments to have and what drugs to take, and for that matter, what insurance to buy, if any. And if none are purchased or provided by the people-friendly state, then no coverage is given because the individual has elected to either find an alternative cure or has elected to succumb to the health problem. That may sound pretty cold. Not the way I want it, but the way things are now, you pretty much have to pay for everything. And not that I want the government to provide all this stuff for us. It would be nice if we had full employment and everybody was making a livable wage where they could contribute to healthcare. And I'm all for that. And those that physically can't work or mentally can't work, well, we need to take care of them. We just can't shove them aside and let them die, But if assuming that you're working and you make a good wage and you can afford insurance and you elect not to, then you know what? We don't have a responsibility for your life. You basically have elected to either die or find some alternative cure that you can afford. Hey, it's just people have to have choices. That's part of freedom. And, it can get kind of ugly. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't want to see anybody die. That's bad. I hate war. I don't want to see war. Sometimes even war is necessary. And, for me, I don't like to see that. I'd like things to talk about your differences and make some kind of compromise situations and go on with it. But I mean, I know that it exists. It's a possibility that war may be necessary. And if it is, nowadays, it's like saying, okay, we're going to end the planet. Man, that doesn't sound smart to me. It sounds like it's really dumb. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say. This is maybe the first talk that I'll actually publish on Onstellar, and maybe you boys will hear more of me later. Hopefully, no, I'll save that for another time. Hey, Orin, Collin, adios from Papa.